May you find happiness and peace, and may your home stand the test of time.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary. Today I'll be reacting to Kirk destroying naive socialist propaganda. So without further ado, let's get started.
I'm a Christian medical humanities student, and the reason I chose that was because I was taught that if I have the opportunity to help my fellow man, I should, as a Christian should. So, as a Christian, how can some conservative people justify not backing healthcare for people, especially like for veterans, because they do a lot for our country, and sadly they end up homeless and don't get the help they can get from the VA. So how can we justify not providing affordable health care for everybody?
It's a great question. Well, first, I don't know any conservative that doesn't want health care for veterans, so I'll just challenge you a little bit on that. But let's take the premise. Let's say that I don't want universal health care, right? We don't want universal health care because it'll actually hurt the very same people you care about. And so let's talk about the veteran example, right? So the VA is a disaster. It's a mess. The VA receives $100 billion a year. There's waiting lines. The quality of care is dreadful. And I will say we have universal health care for veterans, and it is a disaster. So the question is, how do we best help people, right? And so you or somebody, I don't even know if you believe what you said, you're just asking the question, so I don't want to put that on you, but that sort of opinion would say, hey, the best way to help people, government assistance, government health care. Now, I believe in a safety net, of course. I don't want the safety net to become a hammock. I don't want it to become a place of comfortability. But I believe the best way to help people when it comes to healthcare is, number one, where's my friend who's the nutritionist? First of all, there you go. We eat like garbage in this country, okay? We've got to fix the way we eat. We have a sick care system, not a healthcare system. That's number one. Number two, we are run by the tyranny of the hospitals, a private-public partnership of inside-out access of hospitals that have perverse profit incentives and taking money from the taxpayers. But I will say this, you will not find conservatives not care. And this is an important thing. Just because we don't want something doesn't mean we don't care. It's a very important thing. And so I would just challenge on one thing, which is this, which is that you might think conservatives are wrong, or maybe people that say that what it is, but don't think they're bad, right? Don't think like, how could you not want to give health care? When in reality, it's like, hey, we want to have all people taken care of. The best way to take care of people might be through market competition, might be through choice, through improving the healthcare system, not through a massive bureaucratic, kind of social engineering project. Do you have a quick follow-up question? Okay.
Yeah. So I do agree with you when you say that we shouldn't enable people, because I think that, it is good to have a safety net, but we also need to grow and improve ourselves with our own will. But I have met people, and it might just be like people claiming to be conservative, but not really believing in the conservative, like, help your neighbor values, that truly don't want to give to healthcare because if I have the money, or this is their words, if I have the money, why am I going to give it to somebody else?
Yeah, I mean, you won't hear me say that, but I will say this. Let's differentiate one thing, which is government helping people and people helping people. The other reason I'm against a massive government welfare project is I think it de-incentivizes you from helping another person that needs help. And we see this in Europe. Americans gave $600 billion away to charity last year. We have the highest rates of charitable giving in the planet except one small island country, one in the Pacific. So we're like number two in the rates, not just the number. Europe, private charity is almost an unknown idea. When I was in Europe, I've been there many times, I explained what Turning Point USA was and kind of how we raise money, and I also explained how we have charitable hospitals, how people give money voluntarily, Red Cross, Salvation Army. And I remember a group of Germans looking at me, they say, what do you mean you give money to charity? You see, it's almost an unknown exercise. They're like, no, the government does that. It's the exercise of the state. I think that the larger we've made the government, the more we've given people an excuse not to step up and help people that truly need help. I think we need to empower more neighbors helping neighbors. Thank you so much for your question and for being here. Thank you.
Wow, this is lovely. It's beautiful. I just love the fact that, yeah, we need to, I'm not saying don't help people, but I feel like when the government tax you a whole lot, telling you that, yes, this tax is for this tax is for that, and you feel like, yeah, the government is supposed to take care of this and this and this, and you see people still begging for fund. I feel sometimes it prevents you from giving because, you've given a whole lot. Sometimes before your salary comes, you have been taxed almost 30% of what you make a month. That is not even, your tithe is not even included, 30% is gone. Then whatever is left, you pay your tithe from it, you pay your house rent, you pay your water bill, you pay your internet cable, and before you know, you are left with little to nothing. So it's quite painful because you are working, you are putting in the work, and everything is just taking away the money. I get where the lady is coming from. She's asking, should we not provide healthcare for this veteran? And I get it. They've done the work. They've saved our country. They fight. But no matter how it is, I think US, they are doing a great job than what is happening in Africa, because I've seen my uncles, some of them, they were in the military, and when they retired, they had to look for something doing for themselves, because even their pension was not paid on time. Some of them did not even receive their pension, because your pension depends on the government on power. If the government on power decide not to pay you, you can't do anything. So I feel no matter what, at least the US, they are still doing a good job compared to what our veterans are experiencing in Africa, because it's not funny for them. But I think what Charlie is saying is, when you privatize healthcare, it brings down the cost of healthcare, because now there is competition. Unlike when government is covering the cost through insurance, now they can decide to inflate the price and government will still pay. And by government paying, government is taxing us more. So when you put down, when government, let private individual owns this and there's competition, the price of it comes down drastically. I think a video I watched about Charlie made mention of this eye surgery, that the price was within almost $18,000 to $20,000. And when insurance stopped covering that, the price came down to like $750. And I feel like sometimes this people, exploit us simply because, yes, insurance is paying for it, so they want to milk the system. But when it's left for private individual to run, they end up bringing down the cost, because if this hospital is taking, let's say, $700 from it, why won't I do the same thing? I think that is what happened when Airpeace decided to join this aviation industry. They brought down their price from Nigeria to, I've forgotten the country, either Nigeria to the US or so, and every other person started bringing down their price, because Airpeace, they were booked for like months. People bought all their tickets because their ticket was extremely cheap. And I feel like that is what the world need. When you privatize things, the price will crumble, and when the price crumble, even the poor will be able to partake from it, because formerly it was only the rich that could drive, only the rich could have horses. But as the world is right now, everyone can drive. If you have the money to get your car, you can pay for your car, and even if it's not a brand new car, you can still get something decent for yourself that you can use. You have enough money to get something more befitting. So I feel privatizing things will help not only the United States, will help the world, because I've seen things run by the government, healthcare, schools, and so many other works, and they are not doing well. Okay, because the government just build, and that is it. I don't know about other country, but in Nigeria, to be precise, Nigeria, Ghana, they build and they write it down that they build. But when it comes to maintenance, they don't maintain. I've seen bridge built by the government, they don't maintain it, except maybe something bad happened, then they will start looking for a way to fix things. But as far as it does not kill anyone, they don't care. So let me know what you take in the comment section. If it's the first time visiting the channel, click on the subscribe button. Thanks for watching and remain blessed.